Hey everybody, my name is Brandon Rosano, and in this video I'm going to be telling you a story of mine. On March 1st, 2017, I had my first near-death experience. It was my first seizure. I've never had one of these ever in my life, and so it really caught me by surprise. It happened at about 4 a.m. that morning, and thankfully my girlfriend being there, she was able to take care of me and get me to the hospital. I woke up at about 2 or so in the afternoon and didn't even realize how I even got there or what had happened. I just remember waking up in a hospital bed with an IV attached, and I was looking out of like a room on the 3rd or 4th floor in Philadelphia. And I remember asking around and being like, what had happened? And they said, you had a seizure. I'm like, how? I don't even remember finding out that I even had something that could cause one of these. And once I got out, because it was such a surreal experience, I didn't know what to make of it. And so I completely disregarded it, as one would when something like that would happen, I would think. And I continued to live life as I did, eating the way I was, which that could have been the reason, or it couldn't have, I don't know. But it took about a month to really let it sink in. And once it did, I remember playing back what the doctors had told me, which were ideas that were unacceptable for me. And they were, you're going to be taking these 2 medications for the rest of your life. It was Keppra and Dilantin. And you have 2 options to solve this, which are chemo or surgery. And I'm like, no, no, and no. None of these are going to happen. So what I did was I immediately started looking for alternatives. And lo and behold, I was able to find an herbalist named Ron Norwood, amazing man, who took the time to help me and figure out what it was, because I'd never heard of cavernous malformations. That's what they diagnosed me with. And we found out, well, he told me of a way to solve it. And I remember how the whole situation went down. I gave him my paperwork. I said, nothing like this has ever happened to me before, and we spent about 4 days trying to figure out what it was. And the last place we looked, it was on WebMD. We find out that they were lesions, and he had this look in his face that he knew what would be necessary to solve it, but because he didn't know me well enough, he was uncertain if it would be effective. And what it was following a strict food regimen by a man named Dr. Sebi, which is an alkaline vegan diet that has no hybrid fruits, vegetables, or other items, grains, and what have you. And he wrote down his name, Dr. Sebi, S-E-B-I, and said, look him up, let me know what you think, and we'll go from there. And so I looked into him, really liked what he did and all that, and I was like, all right, well, if I don't want those to be my reality, then let's try this one out. And I went back to him and did that, and that's where the journey began. And it's been a very interesting ride. Unfortunately, I want to say it was October, I started to slack, and it kind of fumbled into a several month fallback, if you will, into my old self. And a year and a week later from when the first seizure happened, a second one happened. So on around March 8th or 9th, another one occurred. And once that happened, I said, hell no, this is not going to be a regular occurring thing. I'm going to get myself into good health and get back following that very strict guide, that strict food regimen, and we're going to cure this thing once and for all. And so this project that this video will be on is called MetaEating, and it's going to be documenting this entire journey from start to finish, really, and showing you guys what it's like being on this food regimen, how I live, what sort of things I do to make up for the limitations that I have, and some of the great recipes. So I look forward to doing this project and showing you guys what the life is of an alkaline vegan.